Hi, we are the group 10 and we are here to report regarding the rules 26 to 28. So the members are Osing, Gilbert, Villarosa Gherome, Villegas, Mick, and our course outcome would be demonstrate thorough knowledge and understanding of the content, application, and intent of the international regulations for preventing collisions at sea 1972 as amended. So it is amended in our Colregs 1972 that we need to understand and impart some knowledge of the content and the regulations and provisions of the Colregs. So our learning outcome is at the end of the session, the students shall be able to demonstrate and apply the rules in this section to avoid collision rules in navigating in narrow channels and also navigating in traffic separation schemes. So we all know that narrow channels is in Rule 9 and traffic separation scheme would be in Rule 10. And what we need is to apply the rules in this section so that we could avoid collision regarding with it. So importance of the topic. So the aim of the collision regulations or colregs is to avoid established rules and to avoid collisions at sea. So specifically, colregs is made in order for us to avoid collisions at sea. So table of contents. Um, we do have three composed topics regarding in this one. So it's Rule 26, which is the fishing vessel, and then Rule 27, which is vessel not under command or restricted in their ability to maneuver, and then Rule 28, which is the vessel constrained by their draft. So fishing vessels. So that is a sample picture of a fishing vessel. So we all know a fishing vessel we really need or it is really a prerequisite requirement to have nets or for fishing. So next one. So these are the pictures of the fishing vessels. So the first picture, it is the vessel engaged in trawling. So when we say trawling, it is part of fishing wherein we throw our nets through the water and we pull it back. So this one, it is a vessel engaged in trawling, not making way. So this specifically means that it is not making way. And then it's light. You can say that it is not making way and it is engaged in trawling. Once you see a green light and white light and its turn light, which is white also. So this one in daylight we can see apex here, upward apex. So the next one would be is also in 26, which is on the subparagraph B, which is the vessel engaged in trawling but making way. So the difference between these two is that if you're making way, you have a side lights which is green for starboard and red for port. So the next one would be vessel engaged in fishing other than trawling and it is not making way. Why is it not making way? Because um it it has a red round light and white light, and also it just has the same apex. So this one would be in subparagraph C. So um, the next one would be 26B, which is vessel engaged in trawling, not making way, but less than 50 meters in length. So the length of the vessel would be less than 50 meters, and it is not making way because as we can see here in the picture, it is green light above and then white light below the green light. And then it is also in subparagraph 26B, wherein it is vessel engaged in trawling, again, making way but less than 50 meters. So it is making way because it has two side lights, one for starboard, which is green, and for port, red. So the next one would be vessel engaged in fishing other than trawling. It is making way because it has side lights. So apart from this, it also have um, a stern light, which is white. So in the paragraph a vessel engaged in fishing, whether underway or at anchor. So we all know, excuse me. So we all know that um, when vessels exhibit lights and shapes prescribed in this rule, we know that anchorage or anchoring and underway is part of fishing. Wherein if we will try to anchor our vessel, that means we're also trying to engage fishing. So so B, that would be a vessel engaged when engaged in trolling. So this means it is meant by the dragging through water of dredge net. So this one would be the dredge net, and then or other apparatus using a fishing appliance shall exhibit. So engage in trolling if once we already throw or drag our nets through the water. So next, this one, the subparagraph number subparagraph B, number 1. So two all round lights in a vertical line. So as you can see here, this is the two all round lights. So green above, and then lower would be white. So or a shape consisting of two cones with their apex together. This one. This is the shape um of our lights regarding with the apex together when it is daylight. So it is also vertical line because it is connected to our foremast. So one above the other is a vessel or less than 20 meters in length may instead this shape exhibit a basket. If 20 meters in length, we could exhibit the shape of basket, not two cones. Then the next one would be okay. In fishing vessel, which is trawler. So trawler, wherein we try to tow or we try to what do you call this? When we try to have a vessel which is obliged for trolling operation. So number two, must had light above. So above sa iyang stern part and higher than all round green light. So the white light which is above is higher than our foremast light which is the green and white. So murag nakaana siya. Then after that, in length shall not be obliged. So such light but may do so. So in here we could see that our above, which is white light, is higher than our foremast or our ahead, which is green and white. So number three, when making through the water, in addition to the lights prescribed in this paragraph, um, it has side lights and stern lights. So in subparagraph 3, it explains that it is just the same, but it just have side lights and stern light. So one white light here and green light for starboard and then red light for port. Next would be fishing vessel in trawling operation. So this would be the picture. So in day shape, we do have two cones here with apex together. And then if it is on side view, wherein we could see the port side, which is red, green, and white on the ahead. So this would be the picture if front view and then back view, which is the astern part. And if night, this is the lights that we'll be seeing. So this one is port view, wherein it is on left side. Next one, fishing vessels, which is non-trolling or non-troller. So a vessel engaged in fishing other than trolling shall exhibit two all-round lights in a vertical line. So the upper being red and the lower being white, or a shape consisting of two cones with their apexes together in a vertical line, one above the other, wherein a vessel or less than 20 meters in length may instead have the shape exhibit as basket. So when there is outlying gear extending sa more than 150 meters horizontally from our vessel or from the vessel. So what we have here is that we need to have a all-round white light or a cone apex upwards in the direction of the gear. So what we could see here in the picture is that it is a fishing vessel engaged in trawling other than trawling. So its light would be red and white. So this one is um fishing vessel other than fishing vessel which is engaged other than trawling. Next one, fishing vessels non-trawlers. So number 2 subparagraph, when there is outlying gear extending more than 150 meters horizontally from the vessel, all round white lights or a cone apex upwards, so pababaw siya, has a direction of the gear. So this one would be the fishing other than trawling. So day shape niya, then cone display, gears, mao ni siya, ang cone gear extends, which is 150 meters. Below, luyo siya sa cone or apex together. Then if number 3, when making way through the water, in addition to the lights prescribed in this paragraph, it has side light and stern light. So basically, when making way, what we only add is the side light and stern light. So this one would be port side since it depicts red light on its side. The next would be Rule 27, which is vessel, which is not under command or restricted in their ability to maneuver. So we do have pictures here, which is day shape. So manage to makita two round or spherical shape. So the color would be red light, so consecutive red light. So not under command. If not under command, man siya tong makita. Just the same two round lights, which is color red. So in subparagraph A, a vessel not under command shall exhibit number 1, two all-round red lights in a vertical line when they can best be seen. So mao ni siya atong makita kaning if a beam sayang tunga kay atong makita is red ay two round red lights. Then if ahead is just the same and then astern mao niya atong makita. So number 2, two balls or similar shapes in vertical line where they can best be seen. So it's just the same. And number 3, when making through the water, in addition, lights prescribed in paragraph, side lights and stern light. So when just remember, if not making way, we don't have side lights or stern lights. And if making way, we have stern lights and side lights. Next would be um, subparagraph B, a vessel restricted in her ability to maneuver except a vessel engaged in mine clearance operations shall exhibit number 1, three all-round red lights in a vertical line where they can best be seen. So ganina kwanto siya vessel not under command and not making way through the water. And if making through the water, na siya side lights and stern light. Then restricted in her ability to maneuver, not making way through the water. If daylight, what we can see here is the day sign, which is two black spheres, and in the middle would be black diamond shape. Then number 1, subparagraph 1, three all round lights in a vertical line where they can all be red and in the middle shall be white. So mo siya makita. So middle niya is white light and then that would be red light. Natungan ang white light sa red light. So if a beam port side mo siya makita, then if ahead and astern it would be just the same. So number 3, three shapes in a vertical line where they can best be seen. So the highest and lowest of these shapes shall be balls and in the middle one would be diamond. So mao ni siya yung gi-refer sa subparagraph 2 where in daylight ang in between is diamond. So number 3, when making through the water, a mast headlight side light and stern light would be added in the prescribed subparagraph. So since it is making through the water, once again, we will add side lights, which is red and green. Green if starboard, and then red if port. And then ahead, this will be seen. So this would be added, and if astern, we cannot see the side light, but instead we can see the white light, which is from the stern light or astern. So number 4, when at anchor, in addition to the lights or shapes prescribed in subparagraphs 1 and 2, lights and shapes or shape are prescribed in Rule 30. So in Rule 30, it is indicated there that when we're trying to have anchoring or anchorage, this light will be seen in subparagraphs of 1 and 2. So this one would be the vessel which is restricted in her ability to maneuver at anchor or vessel less than 50 meters in length. So what we can see here, it's all around lights, which is natungan Japon ang white lights or red lights. And then our mast would be white light. So ubos ni siya ang mast headlight. Then ang kaning sa stern part, mao ni siya ang mas taas, murag nag-ana siya. And then if daylight, ang atong shape na makita is circle and then diamond in between. So kani siya, mao ni siya nga represent aning white, and then kani mao ni ang saluyo. So next one would be reported by Osing. Osing. So in C, that this would be a power-driven vessel engaged in towing operation, such as severe restricts the towing vessel and her tow in their ability to deviate from their course shall, in addition to the lights or shapes prescribed in Rule 24 and A, it is exhibited there in Rule 24 subparagraph A, and exhibited lights or shapes are prescribed in subparagraphs B 1 and subparagraph number 2 of this rule. So Osing will continue this report.
Rule 27. Vessels not under command or restricted in their ability to maneuver. So why vessel um, is not under command or restricted in their ability to maneuver? So the term vessel restricted in her ability to maneuver means a vessel which from the nature of work is restricted in her ability to maneuver as required by these rules and is therefore unable to keep out of the way of another vessel. So a power-driven vessel engaged in towing operations such as severely restricts the towing vessels and her tow in their ability to deviate from their course shall, in addition to the lights or shapes prescribed in Rule 24, A, exhibit the lights or shapes prescribed in subparagraphs B, 1, and 2 of this rule. So, as you can see in the picture, this vessel performed towing from and mast side. At the mast, we have seen a white light, red light, and Vessel engaged in towing operation which severely restricts towing vessel and her tow in their ability to deviate from their course. Length of tow does not exceed 200 meters, towing vessel less than 50 meters in length. Next slide, Jerome. Vessel is not under command or restricted in their ability to maneuver. Um, Paragraph D. A vessel engaged in dredging or underwater operations, when restricted in her ability to maneuver, shall exhibit the lights and shapes prescribed in subparagraphs B, 1, 2, and 3 of this rule and shall be addition when an obstruction exists. Exhibit 1. Two all-round lights, two red lights, or two balls in vertical line to indicate the side to which obstruction exists. 2. Two all-around green lights or two diamonds in a vertical line to indicate a side in which another vessel may pass. So 3. When at anchor, the lights or shape prescribed in this paragraph instead lights shape prescribed in Rule 30. So, correct. Correct. Vessels not under command or restricted in their ability to maneuver. So vessels engage in dredging or underwater operations when restricted in ability to maneuver, making way in an obstruction on the starboard side. So as you can see on the starboard side, they have red light. Um, the stern side, we have green light. Um, at mast, we have seen what light? So,
Okay. Yes. On the first picture, what we can see if daylight siya, we do have here two circles, two round shape, and then if a beam, what we can see here is um two round shape, then diamond in between, and in ahead or the ahead part of the vessel, what we could see daylight would be two diamond shape. So sa ato ang makita here is um in stern light we do have white light, and since it is making way, we do have side lights which is green and red. So dredging underwater operations, what Gilbert explained is that these red light that he's been seeing on the starboard side is a it is engaged in dredging or underwater operations. So this is the one, or this is the tool that we're going to use if we do have dredging or underwater operations. That's why if it is night, and during if we're working at night, we could indicate red lights there so that other vessel could determine, and that would be visible to them. So on the next part of the picture, the next picture, that would be just the same, but it is not making way since it doesn't have side lights and stern lights. As you can see, we do have stern lights here and side lights. If making way and not making way, we don't have side lights and stern lights. Um, so next would be, continuing.
so paragraph E, whenever the size of a vessel engaged in diving operation makes it impracticable to exhibit all lights and shape prescribed in paragraph D of this rule, the following shall be exhibited. So 1. Three all-round lights in vertical line where they can best be seen. The highest and lowest of these lights shall be red and the middle lights shall be white. 2. a rigid replica of the international code flag A not less than a 1 meter in height. Measures shall be taken to ensure its all-round visibility. So, as you can see in the picture, first picture, they have an alpha. So, small vessel engaged in diving operations. So, in second picture, we have seen a red light above, um, white white light, and red light. So,
Okay, thank you, Osing. So the next one would be since it is flag alpha, so we know that alpha is I have a diver down, and then small vessel engage in diving operations. So basically, it has a flag of diving operations because we're trying to engage diving operations. That's why we do have flag here. And if we do have side lights, I mean mass headlights, we do have here the red, three all round lights, which is red, and then in between would be white light. So next one would be F. So a vessel engaged in mine clearance operation shall in addition to the lights. So this means that all three round green lights or three balls should be exhibit and it is also prescribed in Rule 23. So this would be the picture. So if vessel engaged in mine clearance operation, then we do have less than 50 meters in length. So the next picture would be engage in mine clearance operations. The next one would be G, which is vessels of less than 12 meters in length, except those engaged in diving operations shall not be required to exhibit the lights and shapes prescribed in this rule. So H, the signals prescribed in these rules are not signals of the vessels in distress, are requiring assistance such as signals in Annex 4 of these regulations. So basically, vessel not under command and restricted in their ability to maneuver has a lot of subparagraphs, yet it really helped us to determine what lights and what operations shall be exhibited. So next one would be Villegas.
So Rule 28. Vessels constrained by their draft. So what is vessel constrained by their draft? It means that vessel constrained by her draft means a power-driven vessel which, because of her draft in relation to the available deep width of navigable water, is severely restricted in her ability to deviate from the course she is following. As you can see, makita sa picture, sa nasa ilain-laing color nga makita sa side by side. Kung magtakilid siya is mao ni siya makita na to is red light kaning upat. Then sa second kung mag front siya, ato makita is kaning tulo ka red light. Then sa ubos is green and red light. Kung sa magtalikod siya is ato makita is tulo ka red light and usa ka white color.
Okay. So in vessel constrained by their draft, if daylight we could see cylinder beyond our stern. So if it would be night, visible sa ato ang mga lights. So kani as what Villegas said, we do have here a masthead light. I mean masthead light. If a beam, makita na to ang all four round red lights. And then and sa ato ang ahead, we do have here white light. And then from our astern, naa sa tayo white light. So if again ahead, makita na to ang stern light niya. I mean ang side light, which is green and red, which predetermines starboard and port side. And if astern, mo ni atong makita is ang iyang stern line. So that would be all for our reporting regarding the rules 26 to 28. We do hope that you are enlightened regarding what we've discussed. And that would be all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.